So we are having a chat with Jacklyn Foster, who is an amazing artist based in Geelong. How did we meet? I think it was through Instagram chat, wasn't it?
Yes, I feel like this is the magical place of Instagram. I love creating expectations. So I was like, how can I get involved, please? And then she's like, oh my goodness, I love your work. And then she put me in contact with you. So it was just this.
So tell me a little bit about your work.
My work is primarily abstract acrylic. It includes a lot of fun, vibrant, still life components. Like, I don't know if you can see a little bit behind me, but I incorporate a lot of fruit and citrus, and I like putting a fun twist on, I guess, things that everyone would recognize, but I give them like a little bit of a different interpretation. That's very vague, but yeah.
No, that's perfect. I also like that there's so many layers and textures in your work. Even, you know, on one piece, it feels like it's very multi-dimensional.
Yeah, and that's something that, because I run workshops as well, and something that I get people to do a lot is learn about not being afraid to paint over what they've painted over previously, and like that it's okay to build layers and it's okay to paint over things that you've already created, and like it's a process.
You said that you run workshops as well. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, they have just gone nuts of late. I think everyone following COVID just wanted something different to do and to spend time with other people. But I wanted to create a workshop where I guide people through like different techniques and just really push their boundaries of what it can feel like to creating. So no one creates the same work of art, basically. So everyone has the same tools. I'll show them different techniques, but essentially how they create is up to them. And I will basically go around and just say, you know, try this different technique. Have you considered this? And, you know, I'll say things like, oh, see that bit that you really like? Yeah, we're going to paint over that. And just like, and just like let people, I guess, stop being so rigid in their creative process. Because I think what I saw a lot of and not that there's anything wrong with this structure, but when so many people are creating the same image, you know, you look at the person's next to you and theirs looks amazing and yours looks like trash, you just leave feeling awful.
That's so true. A girlfriend of mine did it, and her Frida Kahlo did not look as good as the other lady's Frida Kahlo. So she was like, I'm awful. I'm never doing that again.
Yeah, and that is spot on. And so like I have like little packs that people can take home to buy, because so often the feedback I get is people just want to go home and keep creating because it's not as scary as they think it is.
Which artists have influenced your work, and how do they show up in what you do?
Probably I was having to think about this, and I'm not sure if you're familiar with her work, Rona Green. She's an artist from Melbourne / Dandenong, and she does brilliant work. I've been a huge fan of her art since back in school, actually, and we reconnected. She's been on my podcast, and like it's been so lovely. But she has inspired me and has given me so much food for thought and inspired me in that way of my creating. So I remember chatting to her and worrying that perhaps my work didn't look consistent enough, and that, you know, it all would have to look one particular way. And something that she said to me was, the energy that you bring to your paintings, and even just the way you hold a paintbrush, is consistent throughout all your paintings, regardless of how they look. And that is something that has stuck with me and everything that I do.
What do you believe pushes you to be better? And what do you think holds you back?
I love this question as well. I think my drive is seeing how far I've come in such a short period of time. I'm like, what else is out there? Like, what else is possible? And also another driver is not having a uni degree in art, I think, is actually quite a motivator. I think there's part of me that goes, see, I can do this without going to school. I don't know if it's a smugness. I don't know if it's like, yeah. And, you know, I won an emerging art prize last year, and I was having a really interesting chat to one of the he had a PhD or a doctorate in art, and he kind of cornered me and he's like, have you been to art school? And I said, no, I haven't. And then he goes, you know, I thought so. He goes, you have this kind of really thinking outside the box and kind of really free experimental way that you create. And that's something I think that really drives me as well, that like I never want to lose that. And I think, yeah. I think I answered your question. And yeah, just sheer determination. But then also the thing that holds me back would probably also be me. that I am afraid that if my work changes too much, or if I created something super left of field, or something that really, really didn't look like what I had created per se, because I would say that my work, fortunately, is quite iconic and recognizable, and people see it who don't know me and they go, oh, that's a Jacklyn Foster original. I get perhaps scared of trying something too different that people wouldn't know it was my work.
What are the elements that make a property special or inspirational?
The first thing that I thought of was light.
Mm.
And I don't know if that's a bit of a basic answer, but I think when I walk into a room and it's really, and it's really beautifully lit, and then I think it kind of ties into my art that, like, because my art is so textured, I love that when it's brightly lit, it like has little shadows on it, and it's really, really cool. So yeah, light, like, and you can see, it's quite a dreary day today, but in my studio / my office, like, I have a really big window, and it just lets in so much light. And when we moved here and I walked in, I was like, this is it. Like, this is my space. And like, same with our living area in our bedroom, it's just so light and bright. So yeah, I think that would actually have to be my key element in a property.
Please do. Thank you so much for talking with us today. We love your work. We love what you're doing within your community, and just very inspiring, someone who's following their dream and doing what they love.
Thank you so much. And yeah, and thank you for the opportunity as well. Like, it has been so nice working with you. And when I got to drop the artwork off to like the warehouse, and Tegan let me go have a look around, all the stuff that you have in there is amazing. Like, I was mentally walking around going,